6 steps on your journey from sim racing beginner to high-level sim racer coming up right here, right now. Greetings Rommies and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. Welcome to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Hello there, new to sim racing, not sure how to proceed? That's what we're here for. You've played many racing games, got bit by the bug and now want to go more hardcore, more the stimulation way. You want to feel the car more. You sit in front of your Forza for Speed 27 and think, what should I do? In this video, we're going to recommend you one way to go and show how your path could look like if you want to go more and more down the track of sim racing. Jump right in with us. First, you're going to need a simulation and a wheel. A controller is nice, but you said you wanted the real feeling of racing, right? That'll come with a wheel. Two good beginner wheels are the Logitech G29 and the Thrustmaster TMX Force Feedback. Both give you a feeling of how the car feels through the force feedback, include pedals and sequential shift paddles. Those two are quite affordable, have good quality even in the long term, and are a good way to find out if this sim racing thing is for you. If it isn't, you normally can sell those wheels for a good price and therefore limit your losses. If you keep sim racing, you'll want to step up, and we're going to show you how you can later in the video. A force feedback wheel will feel completely different than the controller, and you'll have to fight the car, as force feedback takes the physics of car and track into account to give you a feeling of what the tires are doing and how the tires are doing. You'll need some training to get accustomed. Don't get discouraged, you'll develop the muscle memory bit by bit. When it comes to the software, you'll need at least one sim. There's a lot of them, and at some point you may very well end up having more than one, but let's start you up with the jack of all trades, Assetto Corsa. Go and get the ultimate version and don't pay more than €10 for it. If for once it's not on sale, sales happen very often, there are key reseller sites that will surely have it for that price. Assetto Corsa has acceptable physics, will have you learning how to deal with the simulation, and it allows you to turn on many helpers like automatic shifting, racing line and similar, so you don't feel overwhelmed having to learn all at once. We recommend turning them off as quickly as possible, but we understand very well the need to ease into it, having come ourselves from the simcade world into sim racing. Furthermore, Assetto Corsa has tons of mods for different cars and tracks, so you can expand the enjoyment in many incredible ways. The content of Assetto Corsa will give you more than enough to do for a while and a lot to learn. It's got street cars, GT cars and open wheelers, even a Formula 1 and many well-known tracks. Drive around, race against the AI, watch the replays to learn what you did right and what you did wrong. Learn to race, learn to feel the car, listen to what it does. As soon as you're able to make decent times and decent positions, expand your horizons. Through mods, you can race rallies, hill climbs and do some drifting. And when you really think you know your craft, get into a community that does online races. There are many around and most of them are very friendly towards beginners. You may need to pass a test to show you're able to hold your own on track without destroying everyone else's race, but go for it. So you know sim racing is for you? You're sure it's what you want to do for the next years? Time to invest a little more. First thing we recommend is virtual reality. Most people can use VR quite well and don't get motion sickness, and we hope you belong to those. Some people can train themselves out of the motion sickness, but that's something you have to decide for yourself and maybe consult a doctor. Should you not be able to use VR, you can use 3 monitors so you still get a semblance of a surround view and can sim race more similar to the way you would in real life. 3 monitors and VR even more will allow you to look around while racing to have more than the small window into the race that you have with one monitor. It will give you peripheral vision, a good way to avoid accidents and a good way to drive nearer to the apexes. Our experience with VR is that it gives you a depth perception 1 or even 3 monitors don't give you. You'll be able to race closer to the opponents and nearer to the apex. It will make your racing more realistic, more accurate, and will make your immersion decidedly stronger. So now you've opened up your horizon. The next step that will help you control the car better and will surely help the immersion will be pedals. Pedals are an important but often overseen interface between you and the car and are of course essential for racing. Go for a better pedal set than the one that comes with your beginner wheel. Quite well established as a good middle ground between beginner sets and the high-end sets like the Huizingelts and similar are the Club Sport pedals from Fanatec. These pedals are of great engineering, will last a lifetime or almost, and can therefore be sold at a good price, as even used they work like a charm for a long time. And while you're at it, get the brake performance kit that will help you set the brake pedal resistance the way you like it. And you may want to start thinking about getting some racing boots, as these kinds of pedals are not as easy to press than the cheaper ones. I went for boots after destroying my second pair of socks, just saying. This may also be the point where you should drop some money on a sim racing rig. I mean, you're setting your system to be as similar to racing as possible, right? A rig will help you sit in the right position, either GT or open wheel, though I prefer the GT seating much more, and will allow you to set up your pedals, seat and your wheel in a way you don't have to set them up all over again every time you want to race. Here the possibilities are immense. Depending on where you live, how you live and how much your disposable income is, you have an immense choice. Those of you living in Europe and the US have the most variants and can choose between fixed systems, foldable systems, aluminium extrusion or specially constructed rigs. All come with their pros and cons, different prices, and as I said, it very much depends on your personal situation. One thing you should absolutely make sure is that they are able to support DD wheels, because we come to the part that is discussed the most between sim racers: wheels. One thing we can say for sure: get a direct drive wheel. Depending on your economic situation or how long you're willing to save, you can go for the Fanatec CSL-DD system, which doesn't have more torque than the beginner wheel you have been using until now, but because of the technology behind the DD systems will have decidedly better force feedback, and it's more affordable than higher-end DD systems. Those have higher torque. The higher the maximal torque, the finer the detail of the force feedback. Don't worry, you can decide how strong the real torque is for every situation. Modern systems allow you to set different configurations, at least depending on the sim you are racing with. Often enough, you can set up different configurations for every sim, which you choose from depending the type of car you are racing that day. And go get some racing gloves. Driving for a longer period will leave a mark on your rim even if your hands are not sweaty. And it's easier and cheaper to wash your gloves than to repair a rim that has seen strong interaction. If you like this video and would like to see more, consider becoming a patron, thus letting us spread our wings. Amongst other perks, it will fix your name for posterity like this. A big thank you to our patrons. If you come here regularly, please consider subscribing. Does your journey end here? Nope. If you're still hungry for immersion, go for tactile transducers. The better known ones are the butt kickers, which is a trademark. But using software like SimHub or cheap all-in-one mini computers like an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi, you can set transducers up in any configuration you can think of. Something like the holy grail to those who dabble in tactile transducers is setting them in a way where you have one transducer per tire and one simulating the motor under your seat. Most people are content to just have the motor under their seat though.
I've got no option but to sell you all for scientific experiments.
Well, you've sold your children for scientific tests to afford all these. Now it's time to rest, right? You could, but you may want to use different rims for different situations. Racing a GT car needs a different rim than racing rally or open wheel racing or drifting, right? Again, here the possibilities are many, depending once again on how much money you want to pay. Or you add some small ventilators to your rig to simulate the wind while driving, especially in open wheelers. And yet another step into the world of sim racing is a motion rig. One that moves around according to whatever is happening on the virtual track. While we tested a lot of them and didn't find the immersion that impressive, as of course they cannot simulate the G-forces that work on your body whilst racing, many people like feeling the bumps in the road and an approximation to acceleration and braking forces. By the way, there are even systems that strap your safety belt accordingly if you're so inclined. Rather than spending money on that, you may want to look at high-level pedals like those from Huizenveld and similar. But be prepared for a steep learning curve. On the one side, you'll have to learn setting the pedals up through the software so they feel the right way. On the other side, you'll have to learn how to brake correctly. You may even have to build up muscle on your legs, especially the one you'll use to brake, as depending on how realistic you set the pedals, you may need to press up to 60 kilograms per braking maneuver, like real-life race drivers do. And yes, in racing you brake with your leg, not the foot. If you want to drive rally or drift, you may want to invest in a handbrake, which will help initiate some maneuvers used especially in those motorsports. And especially if you want to race classic or even historic cars, you'll go for an H-shifter, which will have you simulate racing with a stick. Or especially if you're not using VR, you may want a button box like some GT cars have them to simplify some steps during a race. With regards to the software, we have not forgotten there are many sims out there you can try. We published a video a while ago presenting them all together, see the link up there, and also have been publishing and updating should you buy videos about them. Check the playlist up there. At some point or other, you may end up racing in all of those sims. Or after watching our videos, you'll find the sim for you, the one you will stick with from now on and will enjoy forever and ever. We're sure you'll enjoy our videos also forever and ever. Go check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.